Hey yo everyone, this is my first custom enchantment tutorial. In this episode, I'm mostly going to be going through the various tools that I use and all of the basic folder layout for getting your custom data pack working. I will be creating a fairly straightforward custom enchantment, but before getting to that, let's get the world set up. I'm going to create a brand new world. I'm going to name it Your Enchantment Ideas. It has to be creative, allow commands. I'm going to turn bundles and the villager trade rebalance on, just in case there were a couple enchantment ideas for the bundles, so I'm going to have those on if I need them for a future episode. And create the new world. Just some game rules to get them out of the way. Game rule, do daylight cycle false. Game rule, do weather cycle false. And time set noon. This is just to keep light and all that at a consistent level and don't have to worry about it suddenly raining or thundering. And then locate structure village. Not entirely sure why, but I tend to prefer doing Datapack stuff, at least in or near a village. Yeah, just to have some life to the world around me. Now that we have the world created and set up, we're going to start working on the Datapack. So you'll need to get into your Minecraft folder. The easiest way to do that from in the game is to go to the resource packs and click this open pack folder. Just go up a level and you're in the Minecraft folder. So we're going to do two things here. The first is we're going to go, not into saves, into versions, find our current version. And we have this jar file here, which is a type of compressed file that has all of the vanilla data pack stuff built in. So we go to 7-zip, we can extract it to a folder, and we can look at all of the vanilla data pack and resource pack files. This will help for figuring out how things are done in vanilla, like if there's an enchantment you want to kind of emulate or create a variant of, you can look at how that one works. So we're going to go in here, into data, into Minecraft. And then our first tool we're going to use is Visual Studio Code, or VS Code. You can open this folder as VS Code. Over here, you can see all of the subfolders in the folder. And just to, as an example, you can open up an enchantment and see what it looks like in vanilla. I'm going to zoom this in and then set this to a random theme just to distinguish it from our other folder. So then we need to go back into our Minecraft folder, go back up to saves. We have our folder that we've created, Datapacks, and I have a template data pack that I'm going to walk through in a second. But we're going to open this one in code as well, change the theme there. So now we have one instance of VS Code with the vanilla Minecraft data, and that's this one that's the more blue. And then we have our data pack in the more gray, just to help you tell them apart. In our data pack, at the root level, we have a pack.mcmeta folder or file. This contains information about the data pack. So the data pack format tells Minecraft what features are in this data pack. So for the latest snapshot, it is version 43. And this description, I'm going to say custom enchantments. Under the data folder, we have two folders. We have Minecraft, which is if we're overwriting any of the vanilla Minecraft data, we have to put it in here. This custom one, we can give it whatever name we want, but just calling it custom for now. This is if we're adding any new things that aren't overriding anything in Minecraft. And in here, we have another folder called Enchantment, and we have this template enchantment. The enchantment that we're going to be working on this episode is the Curse of Brittleness. This idea was submitted by Reese the Geese, and it's basically an inverse unbreaking. So there is a small chance that when you use durability on a tool or armor, that it will do significantly more damage to the item. So I'm going to start by going over here and finding an existing curse. Let's see, vanishing. Just to get things looking sort of like how they do in Minecraft. So I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm going to rename it Brittle Curse. Then going through everything in the file, to start we have a description. This is what shows up underneath the tooltip when you look at the enchanted item. So we're going to call this Brittle. The effects is what takes care of when damage is done to the item. I'm going to do that last. This slots field controls what slots the item can be in and still have the enchantment take effect. Since this is going to work on tools and armor, we're just going to set this to any. Max level controls the maximum level an enchantment can have when you are either finding it, enchanting it in a table, or combining it in an anvil. With commands, you can give higher levels than this, but this controls kind of in survival what you're able to get. Exclusive set controls enchantments that can't be on the same item as this. So we are going to put Minecraft Unbreaking on this. So a tool can't have Unbreaking and Brittle at the same time. This max cost and min cost controls the number of levels that you can have to get this enchantment in an enchanting table. There's some weird math behind it, but basically, higher levels of enchantments or rarer enchantments, you need more levels to get. And as you get more levels, weaker enchantments are less likely to show up when you enchant. For this, we're just going to copy whatever the vanishing curse is doing. Let's see, anvil cost is levels to add this enchantment to something in an anvil. We're just going to set it to 8, same as the existing curse. Supported items. So this is what items this enchantment can go on when you're adding it with books in an anvil. Whereas primary items is items the enchantment can go on when you're enchanting in an enchanting table. So we're just going to do that. I guess we'll get rid of that. So this is a tag that is all enchantable items that have durability. So this will be tools, armor, shears, any of that. This last weight field is a probability modifier for getting that item in an enchanting table, I think. We'll set that to 2, like the existing curse. Alrighty. So this is kind of the base enchantment, and we're going to test to make sure things are set up correctly by going back to Minecraft. Now normally, with most Datapack stuff, you would just say reload. That would reload the Datapack. Unfortunately, with enchantments, you have to completely leave the world and then go back in. And to test that this enchantment exists, theoretically, we can just go into the search bar, and here we go. We have an enchanted book with brittle on it. And then we could, for example, take this diamond pick. We can say enchant @s, so that's saying myself, and our brittle curse, and we have brittle on it. So right now this enchantment doesn't do anything. It's not even a curse yet, but you can see that it loaded properly into the game. Alright, now that we have our template set up and loading in the game, we need to choose what goes in this effects field. We come over here to the Unbreaking enchantment. You can see that there's an effect called Item Damage that will change how much damage is done to an item. If we look up here, Item Damage, we can find more information about it. But to start, let's get the base effect added. We have a key called Minecraft Item Damage, and this is a list of effects that will run when an item is damaged. Each effect needs an object around it. So item damage is a value effect on the amount of damage to the item. You can then look up what a value effect is, and scroll up to here. So a value effect are effects used to manipulate the amount of something in the game. In this case, it's the amount of damage. You can look here, all the various things you can do to a value. So, Minecraft will send a value to the enchantment, essentially, and then we can choose how we want to manipulate that. So if we look at Unbreaking, it does remove binomial to remove some of the damage from the item, but we're wanting to increase it, so we're going to do this multiply effect. It will multiply the amount of damage done to the item. We can still use this as kind of a template to figure out how things are laid out. So we're going to need an effect. Under that effect, we have our type, but instead of binomial, we're going to have this be multiply. And here, if we multiply, we need a field named factor to determine how much we multiply it by. Factor, and for this, we're just going to set it to a straight 16 times normal damage. But then we're going to add a requirement to this. So if you look over here, there is an effect on durability, but there's also this requirement. So the requirements that we're going to add, let's see, so we have effect, we have requirement. So we're not going to have match tool. We are going to have random chance. So this is a random chance. If a random, basically, roll of the die passes, then everything's good and the thing goes off. Otherwise, nothing happens. And then we have chance. And we're going to set this to 0.125. So this will mean there is a 1/8 chance of this effect going off. And when the effect does go off, it does 16 times more damage. So this averages out to, if I'm doing the math in my head right, going through durability 3 times faster than normal. So we can go back to Minecraft and test this. So again, we need to exit the world, reload the world. I definitely know what I'm doing. And we're going to get just a wooden pickaxe, because I don't want to spend time on a diamond pickaxe. Alrighty, and switching into survival mode. Look, no damage. So by default, it takes just 1 durability, but I'm going to mine through a bunch of things, and it should be visible when it triggers. There we go. Nope. There we go. You can see there, we just had a huge chunk of durability taken with a single stone. I don't really want to demonstrate this with armor. That would be tedious. But I should. Alrighty, so if we look at this, no damage. 54. There we go. Glad that happened quick. So yeah, a single hit took way more damage than normal. So yeah, we can see now our enchantment is working. So the next step is to get it looking like a curse. In VS Code, one of the shortcuts, if you do Control-Shift-F, it will search for something in every file in your current workspace. So I'm just going to look for vanishing curse and see everywhere that the vanishing curse is used. Okay, curse.json. So here we have an enchantment tag that determines which enchantments are curses. So we're going to need to go to Minecraft, tags, we have enchantment, and we have a curse.json. So when you are editing vanilla data, what you want to do pretty much always, unless you are intentionally completely overwriting something, is you set this repeat or replace to false. So this will make sure that whatever you add is just appended to existing values, that it doesn't replace existing values. And we're going to, under values, just add our custom brittle curse. We can get rid of that. So that controls looking like a curse, and really quickly we can test that by reloading the world. Now brittle shows up in red. The other thing that making something a curse does is it means you can't remove it in a grindstone. So brittle is stuck on this item. And just to make sure that we're doing things right, curse of vanishing is still shows up in red. So we didn't overwrite the existing curses, we just appended to that. The final step is changing how we can obtain this enchantment. So I'm going to go back to the search results here. So vanishing curse can show up on random loot. So we're going to want to add our curse to being able to show up on random loot. So we're just going to copy paste this and rename it. This will add brittle curse to the on random loot. Back to search results. Don't care about tooltip order right now. All right, tradable. So yeah, the curses can be traded. So we're going to do the same thing. Just rename this tradable. And finally, treasure. They count as treasure enchantments. So we're going to so this just means for, all 4 of these lists, our brittle curse is just being appended to the existing list. Go single player, go enchantment ideas. So now to check that that actually works and we can find this in the wild, we're going to come up here and container loot. Give at s barrel container loot equals okay, let's hope that worked. Alrighty, so now comes the tedious part. I wonder, I'm going to try to figure out what the best loot table for getting this is. Alright, looks like Bastion Bridge might actually be the best option. There we go. Alright, it only took a bunch of chests, but we did find it in the wild. A Curse of Brittleness crossbow. So yeah, that seems that my changes worked. It shows up in some of the same places that regular curses show up. But yeah, that is the last little check. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial going over, the basics of how an enchantment is put together. Yeah, I'll have links to the tools I used down in the description. And yeah, future episodes I'll be going into some more complicated effects, but I hope this was a good starter for figuring out all of the basics of the data pack and how things are put together. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.